Oh, hi. Welcome back to Final Fantasy VII. We are on, I believe, part 7 of this multi-part playthrough, and somehow we're still on disc 1. We should be able to get at least pretty close to the end of disc 1 by the end of this part. We'll see if we actually finish it. Maybe, but maybe not. We'll see. We left off, we'd just done the whole Wutai side quest, including the pagoda, with Yuffie fighting several boss battles solo. And I think this is I don't know. This is probably not the earliest that I did that part. I think I have done it like right away a few times before, but I'm fairly sure it was the lowest level that I had Yuffie at. Of course, during that side quest, she steals all of your materia and then she puts it back at the end of it in like a random order. But I think I fixed that at the end. So yeah, I think we have everything. We'll be using Eris a lot in this part, incidentally. So yeah, going forward from here, again, we've just done Rocket Town, and then optionally you can do the Mutai side quest right away when you get the Tiny Bronco, as it's an airplane, but it kind of functions as a boat. Um, so we did that, and yeah, for the rest of this one, basically there is, let's see, the Return to the Gold Saucer, which includes the kind of famous date sequence. Uh, then the Temple of the Ancients, that'll probably be the majority of this particular part that'll kind of take up. That is a kind of long and involved dungeon with a somewhat confusing layout in some parts. Again, that'll be probably most of this part, and we'll kind of see what time it is at that point. Possibly we'll go on to the Forgotten City, which in turn is basically the end of Disc 1, which includes a kind of, I guess you could call it legendary event in video gaming that ends this one. Um, so we may finish it, finish this one this part. We may not. We might save the Forgotten Capital and that major event for next time. Uh, So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. So we're just kind of making our way. I saved outside Wutai, and the tiny Bronco's like at the bottom of the rather Japan-shaped island that makes up the Wutai area. So we kind of have to make our way down to the tiny Bronco to get to it. Along the way, there is actually there's an enemy somewhere here on this island that uses, if you manipulate it, the magic hammer ability, which is a very strong ability against a good number of enemies throughout the game. In fact, it wouldn't have been a bad thing if I'd thought of it to have gotten it already, so that Yuffie could have used it against some of the bosses that she fought in the pagoda. Um, it's an ability that basically takes away a fairly significant chunk of an enemy's yeah, magic points, or MP. Um, these are not the enemy that you fight to get it, incidentally. So we'll try to get that magic hammer ability, you know, as soon as we see. I think it's the Razor Grass enemy during this return to the Tiny Bronco, and then we'll move on to ultimately the Gold Saucer and on from there. And there's actually another enemy still in the Corel Mountains that I didn't get the first time through there. That was the laser ability, which I don't think is a super useful one, but you know, just to have it. I think it would be a bad thing to grab that if we have a chance when we get to the Corel area. So I'm actually not going to use that just yet, even though Eris is in kind of critical health at the moment, because I believe the Healing Wind, I believe if you're doing it in a pincer attack like this, it will only hit the side that she's on, which is just her. So I'll actually do that. Ooh, nice free X potions. Um, so I'll actually hit that like first thing in the next battle, so we can hit all three characters. This is for some reason I always found this a little bit of an confusing layout on this island. I think I'm going the right way. Um, Certainly getting towards the bottom of it on the map here. Yeah, yeah, this is it. This is actually where we had the little cutscene with Yuffie going in, where she steals the materia and runs away. There we go. But again, before we leave, I'm just gonna kind of wander around here, see if I can get that razor grass enemy, so we can get the magic hammer. I think it's those radish-looking things. Here is this healing wound. Oh, I should have had case of manipulate. Take that thing out. Hi, Adrian. Yes, Adrian's been sitting here with his stuff at the camera. I don't know for I forgot to manipulate again. Um, yeah, she's been here the whole time so far. I'd officially introduce her. Okay. Wait. Yes, of course. Again, you kind of look like Kate Sith there. You have the same kind of face markings. Yeah, this is another enemy skill, kind of like, there it is, Magic Hammer. It's kind of like Big Guard or White Wind, where the enemy doesn't actually cast it on its own. You actually have to, there we go. You actually have to manipulate it to get it to use it to begin with. I think all, well, like, if that had hit all three characters, would have been a sniper, which makes their limit break build faster at the expense of lower defense. Um, Probably start getting in pretty soon. Ooh, logo weed. That sounds like fun. I think there's an enemy in the Shinra headquarters that can possibly drop the logo weed item, which is a single use that just cast confuse. Um, but yeah, logo weed. Hey, I got something you gotta try. What is it? It's hot, you know. Marijuana? I don't know. Joey's in a jam. What should he do? Anybody remember the Ninja Turtles PSA? So which way do we go here? I think we go down the river, maybe? The gold saucer. There's like a weapons dealer guy. Yeah. What's that guy? There's like a weapons dealer guy that I thought you passed the house of here somewhere. Maybe it's on the other side of the river. Yeah, I think this house up here. Yeah, why did you set up your store here? You actually might have to go to see this guy first, actually. I forgot about the Keystone dialogue here. Where is the Keystone? Yo, the temple. Let's change the subject. Can you actually buy anything from this guy? Maybe you can later in the game. I don't know. I feel like there is something else you can get here, but maybe it's later. Yeah, again, I don't know if because of the headset mic, I don't know if Adrian's vocalizations there have picked up on it, but yeah, I think we go to the Gold Saucer now. Uh, we actually have to go back to Corral Town. The Bronco through there, and far closer. Later on in the game, you get insight the Ruby weapon, which is one of the few optional super bosses late in the game. That's in desert around the Gold Saucer. The enemies around here are below our current level, obviously, since an Eris in the back row can kill one pretty easily. Actually, I guess you can't take the tiny Bronco around there. That's all deep water. All right, walk. Actually, we probably could we have gotten the buggy back from we parked that near Nibelheim, but we could have driven that because that actually can go across the desert there. Actually, could also just while we're here, like near Costa del Sol and Corel and stuff, we could probably knock out another Fort Condor battle if we took the ship from Costa del Sol. Why don't we do that just for funsies? Actually, maybe not. And the buggy we could cross there. Um, ah, just go back later. All right, so Corel's down here. I think it is kind of top area. Do the end first. Sweet. Characters have two of them are hypered and taking a little damage. Okay, so we're looking for the mushroom-looking guys. Um, and I don't think they're on this bridge. I think this bridge is, I think it's pretty much all bombed enemies on here. Trying to manipulate it again. I'm pretty sure you can't learn um, self-destruct in this game. That often is an enemy skill that you can learn, or a blue magic spell that you can learn, but I don't think it is VII. That was worthwhile. Alright, so they should show up around here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so again, I don't remember if they use it on their own, so try just to manipulate one of them. Actually, is this the laser spell you can learn? Now I'm not sure. It says 4 laser that they're using. I don't want to be manipulated. In at least in 10, Himari could learn. I think it was called like Seed Cannon. In fact, he might not even have had to learn it. It might have been one of the blue magic spells that he started with. Which in 10, blue magic was an overdrive for Kimari. I didn't really like that. I like, being able to use them anytime, not situationally. Which same thing in 8, where blue magic was the limit break for Quistis. And like I actually got through a lot of the game just by having Quistis in like critical HP and just like, spamming skip turn until limit break came up because of the way limit breaks work in 8. Oh god, I don't like 8, but I did play through it. And kind of by default, Quistis is my favorite character, which is partly but not exclusively because of the fact that she uses blue magic, at least in some form. See, I guess that's not the laser spell that we can learn, so never mind. We'll go to the town and get on the gondola to the saucer itself. Got a little hit points or gold points. We got a little bit of gold or gil um, coming through here again and little experience. So. Oh, good. Let's like try out. We haven't tried Leviathan out yet. This thing should be weak to it, so just for fun, we'll say at the end anyway. Yeah, it's about as dead as I've seen a bomb get. Definitely overkill for the amount of experience and skill that yielded. Alright, let's get the end to restore the little bit of hit points and magic that we used up there. at Adrian while the sleeping music plays. Yeah, this line here is kind of weird, like the way you move up and down it, especially if you run. If you walk, it's like he kind of jitters a little bit when you walk up and down it, and if you run up it, he kind of like actually up is okay. Oh, well, kind of did it there too, but yeah, sometimes he kind of like snaps from the top to the bottom. A little weird looking. Some programming, maybe not even really glitch. Free, so don't worry about it. So what does the guy even need to be there? Well, I guess he needs to be there to turn it on, right? Turning it on yourself. I wish the shuttles at Disney were free. Not that I've been to Disney since I was in high school, but still, the principle of the thing. The principle of the thing. I don't think we have 30,000 at the moment. Yeah. But without actually checking, might as well try, right? It actually is, especially if you want to like come back to play the mini games a lot here, or if you're gonna do Chocobo racing to get the gold Chocobo. It is actually worth getting the golden ticket or golden pass, whatever they call it. So first thing, uh, we want to go to the Ghost Square, which is actually the inn here, because there's a Paradise newsletter that we didn't get the first time. So I'll get that before I forget, basically. There it is. And I think we should have all of them. I always like here there's the two guests. I guess they're guests too. The two ghosts that are at the test table. They kind of leave and then fade away. Kind of also reminds me of the Three Stooges. Which one was that? Was that Spook Louder? It was a Champ anyway. One of the haunted house shorts that they did with Champ, where they they're in the haunted house and they like open a door and there's two skeletons playing chess and one of them just turns and says, "Go away, boys! You bother me." Ah. All right, so we want to go, and now that we got that, we actually will come back to the inn as part of the storyline here. But we want to go to Dio's museum, I think. Talk to Dio about the Keystone. Come on, kid, move. Hi, baby. Oh yeah, sure. Priceless artifact from a museum. Go ahead, take it. Entertain me. I don't like the sound of that. I think you get the keystone no matter how well you do here. But you can come back and do this, and actually you do have to, I believe, go to the battle arena to get Cloud's Omni Slash, the item that gives him the Omni Slash limit break. Of course, the first battle's pretty easy, weak enemies. But it gets progressively harder, and there's like a slot machine between each round that like gradually handicaps you more and more. Okay, must have trying. Wipe them out. Off course. No way. It's actually, like, the translation of both options here is a little questionable. It's off course instead of course, and then it's instead of no way, it's no way. Oh, good. So, starts as a toad for the next battle. Actually, in the grand scheme, that's not the worst thing that can happen. Yeah, he's gonna lick my face. Stinky. I think it's the beard oil. That she's after. Pickles so much. Well, maybe just I used to cornucopia, which heals the mini status. There we go. Surprise, mofo! Thunder Kiss. 1960. 555. I need to heal. It is a non-toxic, for cats, a non-toxic beard oil, incidentally, so don't worry. Down 5 levels, that just kind of weakens you a little bit. Horrible in the grand scheme, I guess. I have 4 antidotes? Huh. I should pick some of those up, huh? This thing's probably stronger than it looks. Oh, yeah, there you go. I guess it gets progressively stronger. Oh, sleep, that's always fun when there's only one party member. Ooh, this might be as far as I get, actually, if I don't wake up here. But again, I'm pretty sure he gives you the keystone no matter how you do. Oh, oh, barely hanging in, but I'm still asleep. So, I guess that must be a W laser. It must like put you in critical, but not actually kill you. Probably should have healed, but cool. Yeah, again, W laser must be a skill that puts you in critical but not kills you. That must be what it does. Okay, actually advanced there. Got empty. It's survivable, but well, oh well, they're probably gonna wipe me out before I even get a turn here, and yeah. And read some of the tags on the other objects here. It seems like this should be a good opportunity for references to past Final Fantasy games. The only thing I can see that really stands out is the airship model there, which kind of looks like some of the artwork for the airship in Final Fantasy One, and then the diving suit, I guess potentially could be a reference to like the diving helmet in Final Fantasy Six, maybe, but that was just a helmet, not a suit. What else? Alright, so I think we actually have to go to the ghost hotel. Wrong word. Yeah, the roller coaster actually is kind of fun. It is actually like a little shooter game. I'm gonna do it now. Trying to remember what actually triggers. Like, I'm assuming you have to like something has to trigger the event to tell you to go to the ghost hotel, and I think this is it. Yeah, they tell you the trans out of order. All right, there we go. Let me double check just while this is loading here. The list of the Turtle Paradise letters. Because I think I do get all of it now, so if we go back to Bhutan at some point, we should be able to get whatever I are from this Turtle Paradise itself for collecting all of those. Find it in here anyway. There it is. Oh, there's one in Yuffie's basement in Wutai. That's the one I missed. I was thinking it was like right next to the pub itself. Of we just got the Ghost Hotel one. We got one in Shinra headquarters, which is the most likely to be missed because you only get two chances at finding that one. We got the one in the slums. We got the one in the weapon shop in Cosmo Canyon, and the one at the inn in Cosmo Canyon. But yeah, we just need to get the one in Yuffie's basement. And that when you go back to Wutai, anyway. Actually, never really noticed it. It keeps getting covered by the text boxes. I'll point it out once we're out of the dialogue here. Yeah, that picture in the background to the right of the door, the castle with the like moon next to it. I never really noticed that, but that looks like Castlevania key art, like how the castle in Castlevania games are always is always depicted. So yeah, there's various choices throughout the first part of the game, like given to you by like Aeris and Tifa, and actually Yuffie and Barrett. Um, Generally speaking, if you just kind of play the way the game kind of wants you to, you're pretty much always going to get Eris on this date for this scene. But if you kind of like do negative reactions to Eris's questions and positive ones to Tifa's, Tifa will show up instead of Eris here. And if you do like negative for both of those, you can potentially get Yuffie, which again is weird because she's 16. We went over that with Don Corneo last time. Um, and if you're negative towards her too, you actually get Barrett. So, yeah, there are a few outcomes to this scene. But again, the first time you play through the game, you're probably going to get Aeris, and I think Aeris is kind of what they want you to, what they want to happen. So this is kind of fun. There's like a little play that you have to participate in here, and you can either go along with the story or you can try to screw it up. And I think you know which one's more fun. So that's probably what we'll do. Princess Rosa could possibly be a Final Fantasy IV reference, and we will do four on this show at some point, incidentally. I might not do it like right away after we finish seven, and I want to do a few like one-off episodes first, but sometime soon. Definitely this year, I think. I'll do Final Fantasy IV, and I'll probably do the PlayStation 1 version of it that came with Final Fantasy and no, sorry, Chronicles. Final Fantasy Chronicles on PS1 had Final Fantasy IV, and it was actually closer to the Japanese version. I think it basically was the Japanese version um, instead of the like a lot of people think there were two versions in Japan. There was regular Final Fantasy IV, and then there's four Easy Type, and a lot of people think the US version is the Easy Type version. It's actually not. It's actually the US version is actually its own version. It's kind of a hybrid between the original Japanese version and the Easy Type version. Um, but I think the Chronicles version, I never had a much of an issue with the load times. And probably part of that is that I've pretty much always played it on a PS2, which I'm playing this on right now also. And the PS2 does have slightly shorter load times for PS1 games. So I never had really an issue with the load times on 4. I definitely did on Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 6 as far as the anthology slash Chronicles versions go. But 4 has the original graphics. I know a lot of people swear by the PSP version of 4, but that does have updated graphics that personally I don't like as much from what I've seen. I will mention I also don't have the um, PSP version. I should pick that up though, because that does have the After Years and what was it, Interlude, I think, which I've heard weren't very good, but I still wouldn't mind checking them out at some point. Um, yeah, I should pick up that PSP version. I'd also like to get a PSP, whatever the model number was that you could actually plug the PSP into a TV. Mine does not have that feature. um, so anyway, let's do this play. Oh, you must be the legendary hero Alfred. Uh, It's your line. Yeah, you. Ahem. Oh, you must be the legendary hero Alfred. I know it in my soul. Please, please save Princess Rosa. Now, please talk to the king. Oh, legendary hero Alfred, you have come to save my beloved Rosa. On the peak of a dangerous mountain dwells the evil King Valvados, who kidnapped Princess Rosa. But you can't beat the evil Dragon King now. Talk to the one who can help you. Uh, Knight or the Wizard? Well, we already met the Knight. Let's talk to him. Yeah? Seems like a stand-up fellow. I am a lowly knight. How can I help you? Beat the evil Dragon King or defeat the king? Defeat the king. Oh, what is going to happen next? Oh, that's the narrator. What is going to happen next? Oh, legendary hero, look! What ho? You dare ignore the evil Dragon King? Ah! I don't know how much longer I want to do the voices. I am the evil Dragon King of Alvados. I have not harmed the princess. I have been expecting you. Please help me, legendary hero. Like that? Who is your enemy? Say it. The evil Dragon King, the king, or that knight. Let's say that knight. So yeah, you can kind of mess with it a little bit. Like there are different dialogues for what choices to make. It doesn't matter in the end. She always has fun. That was the little bit of a. This is a little bit of a tearjerker scene on the gondola. Incidentally, you can actually come back later and ride the gondola with any character, and get shorter dialogues, but dialogues for everybody. This kind of scene here, there's a couple of them, but it was kind of mind blowing at the time. The parts where it does, I wouldn't necessarily say seamlessly, but fairly well done. It kind of integrates the SMVs and the actual like in-engine graphics. When the Chocobo race was going past the gondola, that's kind of what I was talking about. Okay, right here. Oh, he actually says that. I swear, Nelson, like I don't even know who you are anymore. I'm Nelson. Be cozy there, Adrian. chase her in our hands. So if you remember a couple parts ago when they were talking about there possibly being a spy in the ranks, now it's being said. I think he went into the chocobo one. Yeah, there he goes. Ah! Come on. I didn't need to go back into the door. I was thinking at this point, why? Why didn't they put sprint shoes in this game? So there is a elixir there, which incidentally, that's I believe, a slowed down version of Kafka's Laugh from 6. Like all these like medieval weapons that they left out in this. Like there's just a mace on the floor in the hotel, some kind of hook there, ball and chain. There's like a mini guillotine on the table. Hope they don't like. I hope they have a different version in here. You have to use Eris for the third party slot. You can pick. Let's see. I often use Sid for this part, since he's still fairly new, but he is also at a higher level. As considering Vincent, he's like one above most of the other characters, as is Yossi. So kind of between Tifa, Barrett, Pizza, Red, and I actually use Red in a little bit. So let's go with him. We can always swap at there are a few save points in the temple. So. Let's just see what everybody says here. we'll use red for a little piece. Actually, though, let's see what red's dialogue is, just to complete with that here. So, yeah, I didn't realize I think I'm actually down to 3 antidotes. Let us go to the store there. Alright, there we go. Yeah, again, up above the dancing flower, which that was actually a toy in the 90s. Like it would like dance to music if you put it in front of it. I actually had a Coca-Cola bottle, a dancing Coca-Cola bottle that did that. But yeah, that really looks that picture on the wall there. Why am I pointing? You can't see what I'm looking at. But yeah, above that flower, that really looks like Castlevania artwork, and I really never noticed it before. Okay, buy some stuff from Mr. Hangman. Get get up to 20. Uh, Never bad to have a couple extra ethers. Otherwise, it should probably be good. 2 extra echo screens. I don't think anything uses that in Temple space. And one thing oh no, it just says welcome. For a second, I thought the welcome mat said "Welcome," which would have been kind of clever, but guess not. All right, so station. That's all right now. All right, so save actually before that. But here is materia. Most of which I'll just shuffle. Smith. Oh man, should save too. That's what I was originally going for. Red actually is close to leveling up, isn't he? Hey. I think this was the first battle in the arena. Ooh, nice hit from Eris. From the back row, even. Alright, so we want to go eventually east here. I think there's only one way you can go at this point. So that's it. That's the temple popped up. We'll need to see, can we get to Fort Condor first? Yeah, there it is. That said, can we actually get there? Oh, yeah. Knock out one more battle here if play another one. So this will be an alternate attack from which I don't think we've seen yet. Climb faster, Cloud, come on. Hey, buddy. Sell something. I'm not even that far from 4,000. And I'm not even going to hire any troops. And, let them climb up and at all. We want to hang on to that. I'm going to use the Turret weapon. I'll wait to see install any of those. Yeah, all these throwing items are pretty much worthless as far as resale. They're all just one. I think loco weed would sell for more than that. I mean, we're legal at this time. That should sell for more. Selling either. You're not gonna let me do it now? And leave and come back, maybe? This is more annoying than it should be right now. Leaving the area completely all at it. I think get a vending machine up here in a Fort Condor anyway. Do that. The Condor. I guess he's just not gonna let me do it. Oh. Actually, the inn here is free. Please do that. Maybe go into the inn or at him. Worth a try. All right. Well, simple. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, because I think the other time I've done that, like if I didn't have enough money, I just went and sold stuff and back to him, and he can do it. Well, thanks for not hitting Eris before she could get the Odin casted. Okay. seem to do that. Damn it. What I was trying to do, I'll fix her before, but okay, good. At some point we're gonna want to take Eden off of Mars. I just wanted to make sure that I had another armor to switch onto her. So this area is very confusing by design. It's supposed to be like an MC Azure piece. That's what they were going for, I think. But it is very confusing to get through. Do these things have an enemy skill? Well, the frogs do. And I was thinking of the dragon thing, but they actually swap manipulate onto grid. Take off of grid. Transform. They use that anyway. That's for Sid. Okay. So that's actually good because that will teach us the frog song. I think. Or did we already have that? I don't know. Frog smack actually killed an enemy. That's pretty good. Oh, this is annoying. Wait, that white cape, let me put that on. Probably red. I think that prevents frog. I know I just took it off. Unlike past Final Fantasy, that had the ability for your characters to be turned into frogs, it does not stick around after battle, at least, anymore. I think that's actually text. Alright. I guess I already had frog song. If that sentence works on this guy. Funsies. Nice, it did. How about that'll do it too? anywhere there. So yeah, this is a fun part. Have to like try to get under these the open part. That's it. Damn, I'll lick my face again, are you? Ow, hold on. That's a trip to the HR department there, it's saying. Or her boss. I know that's supposed to be like a creepy image of Sephiroth there, but it really just kind of looks like he lowered himself into a hot tub, doesn't it? Looks pretty comfortable. Hey, buddy. Well, so this guy is a save point, so I guess you actually can't switch characters anywhere in the temple. I mean, that's alright. Red for the moment. Since he has leveled up a couple times, I had given, another character a shot for a bit. Oh, I think again. Alright, remember here, there are a few things we didn't get yet in that outer area. Go back for a minute. How the hell did I even get here to begin with? Not up here, right? That one piece of the area was. Oh, that's actually starting point, I think. Not where I want to be. Very confusing screen. And again, I know that's what the point of it is, but still, it is annoying when you're trying to just get all the items. And I think it's mainly that one door, like below those stairs, I want to hit. Remember how to. I was getting up there in levels at least. Hovering around here. Ribbon in that chest, according to the treasure list I have here. Too. Oh, can you only get to that from the clock puzzle? Let's try that. Anyway. Actually, the first thing in the clock puzzle, you actually want to get knocked off by the hand because you can get a weapon cloud at the bottom. You can't walk on the second hand, but we want to get knocked off by it. I forgot there was a fight here too. Stuff, I don't think. Oh, well, maybe take that back. I don't have anything that's gonna hit both sides at once. The nail bat for Cloud. Each character actually has one of these weapons. It's very strong, but it has no materia slots at all. And again, every character has a weapon like that. I actually often use it with Cloud, just for the sheer power of it. But let me just see what I can get rid of on him. I want to keep the enemy skill on him. Pitch the wall, and I guess pitch the nerf blow for now too. And nail that. Oh, that's where that door comes out. And it is literally just what it sounds like, the nail bat. It's a bat with nails sticking out of it. I think we actually have Red's weapon like that, the hairpin. believe is his. There's the trumpet shell for Kate, which I think we actually get in Emerald Beach here too. Garrus might not have one, but I think every other character does. I got lost again. This screen is getting annoying, honestly. Yep, I got lost again. Oh, hey, we haven't here yet. Could use some of those sources at some point. Hey, nice silver rifle. Yeah, that's basically a warning to not get soft locked. Live on the edge. Alright, so we just need to, I think, get back to the clock room at this point, because that ribbon is the other thing in the outdoor area here that we want to get that actually clock room. Let's go through there. Starting point again. Why can't I find my way back here? Done it like twice already. Why can't I find my way? Do you really want to be right behind me on the couch here? What happened to Cosette on Sopranos? Well, you're just going back there for warmth, but it could be dangerous. Why am I just friggin' lost here? Map in this player's guide kind of sucks, by the way, for this room. Non-Brady games, you can do better. Maybe you can't anymore. I don't know. Are they even in anymore? The whole debacle with the Final Fantasy IX player's guide might have killed them. I don't know. That was the player's guide where everything was. The Final Fantasy IX player's guide. That was the one where everything was like, for the rest of the list of items from this store, go to playonline.com. Like, why even buy the guide at that point? Alright, is this the way? This better be the way. Oh, that's not. Damn it. It's supposed to go. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah. That's first. Remember? Alright, so I am gonna cheat in the clock room. So we want to go to like rooms 4, 5, 7, 8, and then 12 is the exit. Incidentally, they screwed up the Roman numeral for 4 there, didn't they? That's not what it is. Come on, it's a Final Fantasy game. They all have Roman numerals. You can't get the Roman numeral right there. Alright, so that's theoretically Eris's best weapon, but I mean they are linked slots. It is actually the same number of slots as Fairy Tail, too. Yeah, why not? Actually, do restore all on Earth. You know, we could do like restore all, Earth all. That's good enough, I guess. Alright, there's that. So we want to get through 5. Gonna take a while to get it around to this position, isn't it? Alright, there we go. That's what we wanted. Okay, so 15.5. No, stop paying attention. Hey there. Get the items first. That's Case's version of the no materia slot buy it attack weapon. Alright, so I think we want to go to 6 here. That should be all the items anyway. This reminds me, not that I've actually played it, but from what I've seen of it, this reminds me of Hotel Mario here. But this actually has a good part in the comic book. I think that's Tifa's version of that kind of weapon. Got him. And then we can rest and save with him too. So we actually have two boss fights here. Just need to get back up to the top. Yeah, I think we did get all the items, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, shoot. Can go off Varus here. You know what? Because we saved with that guy. I'm just gonna take a quick break that you won't even know. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I remembered to take the Eden coat item off of Varus. I don't think you can get another one of those. We should get rid of the earring on her too. Of course, you can't unequip the armor, but we do have a gold armlet to replace it with. So let me just get like what summons we want to have for these couple of boss fights. For slots, and then type those. Let me just switch to Togomog. We'll have the elemental ones not equipped to her. All right, that should be good. Okay, so now let's back up to top there. Oh, didn't do it. There we go. All right, I'll plus that little bit there. All right, now we'll go into this room. Who knew Red 13 could actually cross his arms? Of course, in Disney's Robin Hood, they animated a snake crossing its arms. So, go figure. For sure that isn't just Lavos from Chrono Trigger. Yeah, we actually have two boss fights in our more or less. Good hit. Odin. Big hit with Limb Hazard. Oh, that was anticlimactic. That's Bahamut, so we'll put that on first. Pop out Chocomog. Reason we wanted to get rid of Eden, not really spoiling it, but Eris leaves the party very soon. So we want to take that armor and accessories off the Eden coat armor. The materia will get automatically, but armor does not. I guess we could have actually waited till after the Red Dragon fight, but not a big deal. Stop rubbing your face on the books that are holding the camera up, Gabby. Got your stank on it more than enough. Come on. Knew there was cell service in here. And again, we'll save, and then again, I kind of warn you. That's that earlier save guy. Not getting soft locked if you're not able to win the boss fights, but again, we'll live on the edge. We'll definitely give Red a break after the Temple of the Ancients part. We'll swap some other characters in. Alright, so here's boss number 2. And this is actually a returning boss fight from Final Fantasy IV. Demon One was in Final Fantasy IV originally. Let's try out Bahamut on him. Oh shit, son, it's Bahamut, the King of the Dragons. Mega Flare. With that being said, he's actually the weakest of 3 Bahamuts in this game. There's actually 3 different Bahamut summon spells in this one. Because you do get the first one fairly early. Back him. That did next to nothing. Actually, don't think that did much either. I wasn't looking directly in. Probably best to just beat the thing down. Take guard of a lot of damage from that attack. In this game, it doesn't seem to have the thing that it had in the Final Fantasy IV, where it gradually moves towards you. I guess it did, actually. I guess it does do that. I think you have to be here before it gets too close, or it might be an automatic game over. Well, yeah, but you've rubbed your scent plans on the books under the camera more than enough. I'll try fire, but much damage. Alright, so with that, we could, there was a limit break before turn comes up again. Settle down, Tammy. Yeah, let's call in Odin. Roll, buddy. Yeah, I guess On Tabby, stop it. Well, that tickles. Makes me wonder if there's alternate dialogue if Tifa's in your party this part. I don't think I've ever done that. I've never used. I don't think I've ever used Tifa for the Temple of the Ancients. Usually, again, I often use Sid. Sometimes Vincent. This time we use Red. Come on, Tabby, settle down. I guess we know why Barrett didn't do his original goal of becoming a therapist. Oh, the rocket punch is actually Barrett's version of that weapon, and actually I'll use it on him too because we don't usually put much in terms of materia on him. Right. That's helpful for Cloud. We do want to put the long range on Barrett. And I'll actually hold off on equipping all of the characters just because I'm not sure for sure if this is using. So get back to the death blow. And the death blow, Jerry. Mm. Mm. I don't know. I guess fire. Alright, so let's get everybody equipped up first. Have a bunch of new equipment for pretty much everybody. I will provide directions going forward here. Yeah, I guess we have like everybody's version of that. No materia slot weapon. Alright, so it's who to use here. Let's put Barrett Duffy in, I think. Range and exchange. I put the long range back on Barrett. I'll give him sense, I guess. Yeah, some other command. For Felix for Python one of these slots also. Back up that. That. For the HP up. Also. That on Barrett just to mainly level it up, and I'll put the Choco Lure back on him. I've actually mastered the Chocobo Lure materia in previous playthroughs. And the Buck Plus is probably better than that. Alright. Alright, so we need to find the tiny Bronco here. It should be, there it is. And we're gonna head up to the northern continent to Bone Village. Next off. Actually, let's make a quick pit stop by Fort Condor while we're this way. May not be the right way anyway. Oh, I'll be sure not to do that. Play the waiting game. Waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos. All right, here we go. Come on. Same sad guy again. He's gonna meet my new friend Bahamut. Yeah, I did it. All right, and real quick, our way up to Bone Village. I'm even going the right way. exactly pick the most obvious parking space there, did I? Do I have to go to there? I guess I can actually park closer to Fort Condor, can I? Feel like I missed something obvious and taking the long way around. All right, well, we got there in the end. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Quick save here. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I mean the Forgotten City. You want to elaborate? All right, so I am gonna select the start on the. book to get the part. Should be right about here. There we go. There are other items that you can get later from Bone Village, so we'll come back here at some point. So, catch it. There's another summon spell here that can summon. There it is. Ah, want to be caught this time. Where are you? There you go. Got it. Okay, Water Ring. That's actually important to have for a boss fight we'll have fairly soon, so just so I don't forget, I'll go ahead and put that on Cloud. Now, other than that, this is all fairly straightforward, compared especially to the Temple of the Ancients. A step from the exit. You can do that. Get out in like a very narrow crevasse on the world map. And I think I'll stick with the two. think we want to go left first, and then right. I always love the music in this part too. It's, it's a great soundtrack overall. Uematsu didn't miss it. This is one among my favorite tracks from this game, I would say. Yeah. Actually get that. He will take away one of her slots, but good protection. I think that's everything we can get from the left-hand path. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think we have to actually. All right. Maybe right-hand path first, actually. This is a sweet house, incidentally. I like these detail houses in this area. actually don't think there's any random battles here anymore for the moment, anyway. This reminds me of well, the matter of life and death. The movie A Matter of Life and Death. Big stairway like that, as I recall. I haven't seen it in a long, long time. Oh, we found her. Sure, everything's gonna be fine. We found her. Everything will be okay. Or not. Oh, good. Cloud broke away from the mind control. No, we're fine now. Everything's fine. Nothing bad'll happen. Now on. Oh, well, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, you could use the Phoenix down. you know. I know. In game lore, the Phoenix down doesn't actually bring people back from the dead because when he has 0 HP or KO'd or swooned, according to Final Fantasy II on Super Nintendo, the original American release of 4. before you can even absorb what happens, you get attacked by another form of Genova. That's an enemy skill. Got it. And we got the Aqua Lung, which is like the water version of the Trine. We actually need to get the beta from the Midgar's one at some point soon. We should be able to do that now. Anyway, back to depending on who's in your party, every character has a different reaction to this. Uh, Tifa like kind of like brushes Garrus's hair, and I think Vincent just kind of looks at Cloud and walks off. Asus tries to do a dance, walks off. Um, when he realizes it's not the time to try to be cheered at. Sid looks up and presumably drags on a cigarette. Red 13 owls. But I actually think Yuffie's is maybe the most affecting. It just like completely breaks for all of her bravado and irreverence and claiming she's just in it for the materia. She is still just a kid. God, it breaks down totally. I'm kidding, but it is an effective scene for sure. Did he come here on his own, or would you kindly like mental hold on him that brought him here? And there, finally, is the end of this one. So, I will drop a save and call it for tonight. But yeah, just before I go, I did want to mention, like, why is Eris like the character death that, like, nobody's ever forgotten in the Final Fantasy series? I mean, she's not the first Final Fantasy playable character to die. Not even close. I mean, basically, other than one and three, the games rather, that had characters that were just blank slates, every narrative Final Fantasy game has had at least one character that died. Playable character, that is. Final Fantasy II had three of them. Minwu, Joseph, and Ricard, who was also the first Dragoon in the series. But yeah, Minwu, Joseph, and Ricard died in two. In Final Fantasy IV, memorably, there was Tella. In Final Fantasy V, there was Gallus. And in Final Fantasy VI, there was General Leo. But yeah, Eris is the one that called. I mean, part of that, I'm sure, is just that this was the most successful Final Fantasy game to date by far. This was kind of the game that really kind of brought, for Americans, RPGs, console RPGs, into the mainstream. Because, you know, as great as they were, and Final Fantasy VI is still my favorite of that series, and my favorite game of all time for that matter. Uh, but they were niche titles, like even Chrono Trigger, even Mario RPG, were not huge sellers, and this one was. So part of it is just, more people saw it. Uh, but I don't know. I think there is more to it than that. Like, unlike the other characters, like, you know, most of the others were like noble sacrifices. Certainly, all of the characters in Final Fantasy II that died were like that. Joseph died trying to stop the boulder from crushing the rest of the party, and Minwu died trying to cast the ultimate magic spell. And Ricard kind of died off screen, but he was kind of, another noble sacrifice. Certainly, Tella used up the last of his power to cast Meteo. Um, Gallus again died, kind of for the cause. Certainly Tella and Gallus were both old men that, were not in their prime anymore. And General Leo in six was the military man. He knew what he was signing up for, and he was the character you had the least playtime with. General Leo you only played as for literally about 5 minutes at most, and really one real battle, unless you tried to attack the Guardians and didn't damage them or anything. Um, but yeah, like, Eris was an innocent. She's the pretty young flower girl from the slums, and she, there was really no reason for Sephiroth to kill her. It was just kind of a for no good reason that she died. Whereas, you know, Minwu, Ricard, Joseph, Gallus, Leo, all were, more noble sacrifices. It was more, not necessarily a random death, but, it was for no real good reason. that she dies. Um, I think that was a big part of it too. It was just different than the other Final Fantasy characters that died along the way. But again, she wasn't the first. She wouldn't be the last. There was, yeah, in Final Fantasy 9, not till the ending, but it's implied that Vivi doesn't survive much longer past the end of the game. Which is also a traumatic one, I think, because Vivi was another very innocent character, and he's your little guy. You want to protect Vivi, and that's what happens to him in the end. With 10, I mean, you could argue, I guess, he doesn't really die. It turns out, and this is kind of weird writing in 10 anyway. But but like Titus never really existed to begin with, so he kind of blinks out of existence at the end of it. And Orin was dead to begin with. Orin was literally undead from the beginning. We find that out partway through. Um, and I'm sure there's characters in the later games that I haven't played after 10 that die too. But yeah, Eris is like the one that everybody remembers, and couldn't get past. Like there were all the rumors about how to bring her back, and you can't bring her back. I mean, you could like use a game shark to unofficially get her back, but it glitches the game, so she's not coming back, basically. Um, yeah, it was I think the most traumatic of them. Like the best comparison, I guess, would be, not a player character, but maybe like Anna, Tella's daughter in Final Fantasy IV. Um, it's in flashback, but Terra's mother in Final Fantasy VI, Madonna, or Madeline, depending on which version you're playing. Um, but yeah, Eris is the one that sticks in everybody's mind. And yeah, I think those are some of the reasons for it, why she does stand out among the characters that don't make it through their respective Final Fantasy games. So anyway, I'm just gonna double check that I see that correctly and call it a night. So for now, I bid you adieu. We finally made it through Disc 1, so we'll pick up with the beginning of Disc 2, which is a bit of total whiplash because very soon after picking up in Disc 2, we're going snowboarding. So anyway, we'll see you sometime soon, probably next week, maybe in 2 weeks, probably next week. I'll try to do it next week. Anyway, but we'll pick up with more Final Fantasy 7 very soon. So hit like, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and I will see you again.